Is too much dairy bad for you? Let's go over all the details in this video. Keep watching. In this video, we're going to talk about dairy and how your body processes dairy. And then we'll answer the question, is too much dairy bad for you? And last, you'll find out how dairy fits into the Code Red lifestyle. Okay, so when I saw that we were going to be doing a video on this, I started to write some notes and do my notes and started to think about how I wanted to approach this, because I get caught up sometimes in the fact that, hey, sometimes I get hateful comments and hateful, from dairy farmers and stuff. But the bottom line is I have to live my truth. And my job is to deliver the truth to you, deliver the facts. And that way from there, you can decide what you want to do with them. So I'm not going to make this video any different. I'm still going to deliver all the facts. And you decide where you want to go from there. All right, dairy. So you're wondering if dairy is bad for you, and I could just give you that answer and then you can move on to the next video. But let me give you some background before I give you the straight up answer, because it's not as cut and dry as you think. And that way you'll be able to decide if it's going to work for you or not. Dairy is interesting because we are the only species that drinks milk of another species. I realize that dairy includes other products, but I believe the USDA definition of dairy is anything that's a derivative of a milk product. So we're the only species that drinks milk of another species. And we're the only species that continues to drink milk after we've been weaned. Did you know that? In fact, we don't even produce the enzyme lactase to break down lactose after the age of 5. So right there, that should be a little bit of a red flag to you, because dairy is there to fatten up babies. Whether you're fattening up a baby calf or you're fattening up a human baby, if you break down milk, if you break down all the components of milk, the purpose of it is to fatten up babies, whatever species. It's to fatten up babies. So the fact that we continue to drink it after we've been weaned is not what we were created to do. That is problematic. Now, even if you try to tell me, well, Cristy, I drink milk, I have my own dairy farm and I have my own cows and I drink milk from my own cow, that's fine. That's a little bit better than the factory lot dairy products that we get that have hormones and antibiotics, and that's a different video for a different day. I grew up on a dairy farm as well, and so I get that. It is better if you want to consume milk and you have your own milk cow, that's fine. That's better than getting it from the store, whatever. But it's still problematic in 66% of all Americans. 2/3 of Americans can't metabolize lactose. They can't. And you might find bloating, constipation, diarrhea, you might have IBS symptoms, you might have a foggy brain. There are a lot of ways that a lactose intolerance can manifest itself in your body. And let me tell you, none of them are fun. None of them are fun. I quit drinking milk. I learned what I'm teaching you back in 2005. So I haven't drank milk in, over 15 years, 16 years. And it was the best thing that I did was getting off milk. And when I learned this, I was like, yep, that's it. That's all I need to know. And I can always tell when someone is consuming a lot of dairy products, and usually that they have pretty bad acne. Not all the times. Not all acne is caused from an overuse of dairy, but it's really difficult to clear up someone's skin without medication if you're consuming a lot of dairy. It just isn't good for us, and our bodies don't know how to break it down. It's problematic. If you have acne or cystic acne, or if you're battling with that, and I used to have acne growing up, it was a real problem for me, you really should give yourself a chance to clear up that acne. I would suggest eliminating dairy from your diet and see if that helps clear up your acne. I bet you it's going to. Before I go to my next point, I would love to hear your thoughts on dairy. Comment below and tell me, did you grow up with the old milk does a body good campaign? We were all bombarded with it. I would love to hear what you think about dairy. Comment below. All right, so what about dairy and the dairy campaigns from the very powerful dairy industry? The whole milk does a body good. Do you guys remember those campaigns with the milk mustache? I mean, celebrities, rich people got involved to spread this whole milk does a body good message. And it wasn't until people started feeling pretty crappy, like they started saying, wait a minute, you keep telling me that milk does a body good, but I feel like crap. So how is that doing my body good? Finally, people started to wise up to this fact that, hey, it's not doing my body any good, and they quit consuming so much milk. We've been brainwashed to believe that you get calcium from milk, but did you know you can actually get more calcium from chia seeds or spinach than you can a glass of milk? And the shocking truth is milk will cause us to leach calcium from our bones. So we really were sold a bill of goods when it comes to milk doing our body good. So is too much dairy bad for you? For a lot of people, it is bad for them. Any dairy is bad for some people. And like I mentioned, 2/3 of this country can't metabolize lactose. So I don't want to say bad for you because I don't want to demonize milk. I don't want to demonize really any food group because I don't want to create this diet mentality and have you call things good, bad, and then you get real into it. I just want you to realize that for most people, it does have an adverse reaction in their body. For most people, they're going to have a hard time breaking down lactose. For most people, they're going to see the acne, the bloating, the diarrhea, the other things that I listed. They're going to notice those symptoms. For most people, you're going to notice that you don't feel as good when you consume dairy. On the Code Red lifestyle, I do allow people to have a small amount of heavy cream in their coffee. And more and more as the years go by, I really become a little bit uncomfortable with that because I know they could be feeling better if they didn't have that heavy cream. But at this point, it's not a bridge I want to die on. I mean, people want to have their coffee, and I know for me, I love coffee, and it's something that I really enjoy. But if I go to Starbucks, which I love Starbucks, and I have a coffee with steamed heavy cream, I know that of course I'm going to enjoy it, but then quickly thereafter, I'm going to have a stomach ache. So what I like to do is I like to give people an alternative to cream in their coffee. I know I need one because I'm not going to stop drinking coffee. And my alternative that I find it works really well are Nut Pods. Nut Pods is a dairy-free creamer. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and only 10 calories per tablespoon. So you're going to get a lot of bang for the buck. You get 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, that's 120 calories. But 2 tablespoons of Nut Pods, which is what I use in my cup of coffee, is 20 calories. So you're going to see that's going to be a great alternative to heavy cream in your coffee. In all my years of doing this, and at the time of this recording, over 46,000 people coming through my program, I've actually never seen someone hit goal weight while still consuming dairy. Eventually, as they get close to goal weight, eventually we just phase it out of people's diet, especially if they really want to hit goal weight. If goal weight is really important to them, it's difficult. It's difficult to lose those last few pounds when you are consuming dairy products. And think about cheese. Oh my gosh. We don't allow cheese on the Code Red lifestyle because it's so calorie dense, and most dairy is calorie dense. I do want to point out that dairy is a good source of fat. Or let's just say it's a source of fat. So it's a lot of people, when you're on a high fat diet like Code Red, they can add some dairy in and they can get their fat up pretty quick. But I would argue there are better sources of fat like MCT oil, like butter, like other things that you're not going to have a hard time breaking down. It's really difficult for people to wrap their head around this, especially my older generation of clients who grew up with the brainwashing theme going over and over in their head. You gotta have milk, you gotta have milk, you gotta have milk. And yet they're sick and they're overweight and they're having metabolic issues later in life. So when they come on the Code Red lifestyle and they realize they're gonna eliminate dairy from their diet, or I'm gonna take them down to a very small amount, it's hard for them to accept that. Like, wait a minute, what, Cristy? But of course, the great thing about the 10-pound takedown is I come live to you every day and I teach you something every day. I teach you why we believe what we believe. I'm not just telling you don't do it, Karen. I'm actually explaining to you why, and I'm giving you the data, science, and research to back it up. And those of you parents who are giving your kids milk, I would strongly suggest that you explore a nut milk. I would suggest strongly that you look into instead supplementing a macadamia milk, an almond milk, some sort of a different milk that is gonna be cashew milk, that is gonna be better, because studies have shown that even 1 glass of whole milk for your kids is gonna fill them up better than 2 glasses of 1%. So if you're gonna give your kids milk, at least give them the full fat kind so it takes less to fill them up. But I really suggest that you possibly think about, I don't want to tell you how to raise your kids, but after this video, maybe you will consider moving your children or moving your family to a macadamia nut milk, to an almond nut milk, to a cashew milk, a different milk that's going to be a better profile, a better omega profile, and just a better overall option for your health. A great way to get started, if you like this video, you like me, and you're like, I want to learn more from Cristy. Hey, listen, awesome, welcome. I would love to have you on the next 10-pound takedown challenge. We have them every month. It lasts 30 days. And you could lose at least 10 pounds in 30 days. But I'm also gonna teach you lots of stuff like this. I'm not just gonna throw things at you like, here you go, do it on your own. We don't do it on your own. We do it together as a community. We're a group. We're here to link arms with you. We're here to wrap our arms around you and love you through this whole process. Because it's a matter of learning and unlearning. And we're gonna do it together because community is the #1 biggest factor when it comes to losing your weight and keeping it off. So join our 10-pound takedown community. $47. I linked it up below, and I'll see you in the next video.